Hello, everybody. I am actually on the road in Arizona right now, and I'm staying in a room called the Sunflower Room, which couldn't be more fitting for the guest we have on It Gets Butter today. Today's episode is somebody who loves flowers. That's why it's fitting. Somebody who I've worked with, and in the short time we worked together, seemed to really get to know me more than anybody has. She really gets what makes me tick. She makes me laugh, and I love it. I have the very funny, uh, very impressive Brittany Pregliasco on the show. And we sit down, we talk about the stress of moving forward and believing in yourself. And she gives us a kind of a modern take on an Italian classic. I mean, we all love lasagna, but maybe we love lasagna soup. Um, that recipe's in the description. Please stick around, listen, enjoy the episode. This is an episode of It Gets Butter. All right, we are back with another It Gets Butter. I had to remember what I was doing, what podcast I was doing. That's a problem, right? It is my podcast. All right. We are very lucky to have a good friend of mine. We have worked together in restaurants and hotels. We have been through it together.
Yes.
And I'm very happy that she is doing the show with us. The very fantastic to know, I'm lucky to know, Brittany Pregliasco.
Hello, I'm so excited.
Did I say your last name right? Why do I always feel like I say your last name wrong?
It's it's Pregliasco. Yeah.
Okay.
But when you see it spelled out, it's very easy to pronounce it. But it's intimidating. It's a lot of letters.
It's so many letters, and then there's vowels.
It's a lot
Who
going on
does
there.
that?
Yeah. Too much.
Very happy to have you on the show. As I was talking to you earlier, and as you already know, this is a podcast about tough times and delicious food, and the things that get us through both. Just building that community so people can come to and find out how other people do stuff, whether it's cooking, whether it's anything. I'm fairly excited to get into your recipe that you gave, and we're going to talk about that. But let's start with the first question. Let's get to know you a little bit first. So getting to know you a little bit first, actually, very exciting news. As you walked in, we talked. You just put in your notice at your corporate job.
Yes.
And you're going to a passion job, right?
Yes.
As somebody who did this just over a year ago, first I'll say, congrats on being poorer.
Yay! Luckily, my husband is supportive, so it's fine.
There's no better feeling than following a passion and trying to do that for a living, and having somebody supportive on your side makes a big difference, and that makes it feel possible.
Yes, 100%.
And just in general, when we talk about going through hard times, just if you're going through a struggle, but it's for something you love, which is, and I'm not wishing a struggle on you by any means. Hopefully it's the easiest, smoothest thing of all time.
Yeah, hopefully.
But also, it's just very exciting. And when you're doing something you love, it never feels like a struggle because you're doing, what you love. Like I probably spent 10, 15 emails today trying to get booked future places and making phone calls. And that's just, it's annoying, but it's like, oh, woe is me. I'm trying to do comedy more. Like, what a hard life I have.
Yeah.
Not in a cubicle.
And then it just pays off. Like when you put all of that hard work in, and, that's a big thing that I have been going through is making that decision, processing, and really navigating since I left the hotel, where my place was.
Fair.
What I was meant to do. Because I was in food and beverage my entire life. So.
Same thing. Yeah, I started when I was like 15, and it's what we know.
Yeah.
And we know it so well that you're like, should I? Yeah.
I don't know if this will be good.
What happens?
But, we've been very fortunate and so very grateful to my husband that has supported me through this journey over the years. And we did an event a couple weeks ago, and he showed up. He took time out of his day to show up and help. And it was really interesting to see his OCD brain trying to let go and be abstract and go with the flow. But it was awesome. So
that's very exciting. So I'm super excited for you. And it was just a great news to hear when you walked in today, and I couldn't be happier. And let's talk about kind of so you're getting into, which is why I put the flowers out, because
I love it.
Yeah. That's a picture I took. Not a big deal. It's amazing.
I'll hang it in my office. It's great.
You're not taking it with you.
Well, we know how this goes.
I'll take what I want.
I find ways.
I'm just really, I'm really happy, really excited for you getting out of the corporate world. And then also, I was going to say, part of what people don't understand is when you're finding that passion, right? When you're finding that space, or you're finding that ability to find, this is what maybe I'm meant to do, this is what I'm passionate about. You're doing double duty on everything else.
Yeah.
You know, like you know when I was working at the hotel with you, and I was still doing stand-up comedy, you know, we were working 50, 60 hours at the hotel.
Yeah.
And then I'm going out that night to do stand-up.
Right.
You know, multiple times a week, trying to get a career going. And so what I'm excited for you to find is when you take away that other job.
Yeah.
That other job has been keeping you busy, and you realize, if my full time is going towards this creative part.
Right.
I mean, you can see I've been, I left the hotel to go to a different job. I did the clinical research for 3.5 years. And then since I've left that to do comedy full time, we're just about a year past me doing that.
Yeah.
And, you know, 2 podcasts now, and, you know, I'm getting to tour all over and go all over the U.S. doing comedy. So it's one of those, could I have done this keeping my day job? It'd be easier to afford, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think I would have had the headspace to think, okay, how do I organize this? How do I create this? How do I make this happen? And so when you give yourself that space to kind of be more creative and put yourself fully into that creative passion that you're going after, it only helps it go more, which was the discussion Matt and I had when I talked about going full-time comedy. He was like, yeah, you're working 40 hours a week right now. Imagine if that 40 hours was going into you trying to get booked.
Right.
He's like, yeah, you're not getting booked a ton right now, but you're doing okay. But that's because 40 hours a week, you're not doing that.
it. Right. And so you kind of have to like embrace getting out of your own way and kind of just taking that leap to attempt it. Because, you know, if you didn't do it, you'd probably regret it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, you're at a great point in your life on doing that. That's very exciting. Let's get into food a little bit. What's your relationship with food?
I love food.
Yeah?
I love food. I mean, growing up cooking and then just kind of taking things that are very simple and just elevating them a little bit.
Okay.
It's a love language.
Yeah.
You know, giving someone food that's going through a hard time without them asking, you know, like baking cupcakes for birthdays and, you know, baking chicken cake. The chicken.
Oh,
I almost got that picture. I love it.
Oh,
I'll have to send it to you.
Maybe I'll add it to the video part of this on YouTube. I'll pop up a picture of the chicken cake. Do you know what I was trying to find the other day and I couldn't find? Do you remember, and maybe I just dreamed I did this, but I swear I did this. I made you a crepe cake for a birthday once.
Yes.
Do you remember? I mean, it was a mess. Don't get me wrong. But
As we all are.
it was a representation of me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I made you a crepe cake, and I can't find a picture anywhere to prove that I did that. Some people in the room even don't believe that happened, because there had to be like 80 something. Like it was.
Yeah,
it was a lot.
I probably have it. I'd have to go way back in the archives, but it's there.
I just wanted another recognition that did happen.
You did, yes.
And I'm not crazy on that.
You did.
All right, excellent. All right, so let's get into, because your comfort food hits home to me in such a real way. I've already told a story about one of these foods when Chef Patrick was on. Maybe I'll retell it real quick, because the audacity people have to think everybody watches every episode that they put out and listens to every bit of it.
Right.
There's a chance nobody heard that one and they're going to hear this one.
Yes.
I'm not saying you're better than Patrick. I'm just saying somebody may listen to this one. So your comfort, that's so rude. Patrick was a great episode, by the way.
Awesome.
So your comfort food, you said, is Italian.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, and then specifically spaghetti and lasagna, yes? Mm-hmm. All right, pick one, spaghetti or lasagna.
Lasagna.
See, that's interesting, because I was just recently talking to Matt about my comfort food, and I said it's probably spaghetti, and I think it was just the ease of spaghetti.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a beauty to lasagna.
Yes.
It's
tedious.
The layers. By the way, I love that your eyes rolled back when you were like,
Yes.
Well, we just came off of, so William's family, super Italian, they build lasagnas every year for Christmas. It's a
Okay.
family tradition. It's the same recipe that they use. Well, we thought it was a great idea to do everything from scratch. Pasta, cheese,
there.
all of that.
Oh, that's right. I did see you making cheese from scratch.
Yeah, so it was
you
like
made
a
ricotta from scratch?
Ricotta and mozzarella.
Yes.
It was like a 2-day process. But listen, I'm not above throwing some Stouffer's in the oven.
Talk about making cheese from scratch. I've yet to do that.
It's
Was it worth it?
It is, and it's so good. Ricotta's super easy. So you just heat up the milk to whatever temperature, and then you take it off, and you literally put a little bit of salt and lemon juice in it.
Right.
And it just curdles.
Yeah.
And then you just strain it.
Okay.
Mozzarella, there's a couple of different ways. The first year that I did it, it was terrible. So I tried to find a shortened recipe, which it turned out really well this year. So,
Right.
You do the same thing where you let it curdle up and then you reheat it and you stretch it and you reheat it and you stretch it. It was good though.
Sounds exhausting.
It is. But I did it out of love, so that counts for something.
And then noodles from scratch. Fun fact. We talked about Chef Patrick. He gave a pasta recipe because he also loves lasagna. Recurring theme.
Yeah.
So he gave a kind of a pasta recipe that that'll be on his episode.
Okay, that's exciting.
So if you want to pull that from that, if you just want to compare it to yours,
Yeah.
it's always nice to get a chef's pasta
Right.
recipe.
You're like,
right?
hey, how's it going?
I was like, oh, we getting like
Slide that over.
inside recipes. All right, so everybody knows. A lot of people know my lasagna story, and I don't know if I've ever told you.
I don't know.
My heirloom recipe. Lasagna was a big deal for me growing up, and it was probably one of my favorite things that my parents made. I absolutely loved it, and I thought my mom made the best lasagna of all time. It was hands down the best.
Okay.
And so I was in college. I was cooking for my roommates, and I felt like such an adult because I was at the grocery store. And I was like, I'm going to make lasagna tonight.
Oh.
So I called my mom, and I was like, hey, what's your recipe for lasagna? Because I want to impress my friends, and yours is the best. And so she said, well, go to the aisle with the pasta noodles and get Mueller's. Has to be Mueller's. And I was like, obviously. And so I get the box. I was like, I got the box. And she was like, great, turn it around. That's the recipe. And I was like, oh, okay. Like my thought of getting this heirloom recipe was just, I just used the one on the back of the box. Now, since then, and I think you'll relate to this, and this is what I love about lasagna, is that just use that as a base recipe.
Yeah.
Here's a concept of a recipe. It'll tell you what you need to know, but make your substitutions, season it how you want.
Yeah.
Put, I've made it with like alligator sausage in there before.
Ooh.
Chef Amber and I did that actually
interesting.
from scratch. That was good. And we just try different things, and that's the fun thing about lasagna. Make a vegetarian one time. You can have, the idea is these melded layers together,
Right.
that you're sharing with somebody. Because, by the way, if you're sitting at home eating a whole lasagna by yourself,
There's no judgment.
there is no judgment.
No judgment.
But also, maybe you're going through something right now,
Yeah.
and we need to talk.
Maybe you're just carbo loading before a big race. I don't know.
Call a friend, either way.
Call us.
But yeah, lasagna is one of those. It hits home for me. I am going to tell you another fun anecdote about my family after we talk about the recipe you gave. So, you love spaghetti, you love lasagna, and I really want to ask about this. Your recipe that you gave for us to share, which we will, is lasagna soup.
Yes.
And I'm going to try it. Now, I have a history with something like this that has gone wrong. Okay. And I'll tell you about that. But I want to hear, because you were like, what did you say? You were like, well, it's got all the same ingredients in there and it hits the same spots.
Exactly. And it's a lot faster.
Is that one of the best things about it?
Yeah. And it's you're getting all of the comfort. It's not as heavy as if you eat like
Fair
a whole
enough,
lasagna on the couch by yourself at home, which is fine, again.
Again, no judgment.
But, and one of the things that I love to do when I cook is I'll make big portions and then use mason jars and freeze them.
Okay.
So that way, you know, hard day working at the office, going to my other job, coming home, I don't want to cook anything, but I
Yeah.
still want that same level of like comfort.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to do it.
That's actually a really nice kind of suggestion too, is especially on something like a soup
Yeah.
or like a lasagna or any type of like casserole, you can absolutely make more and put it aside so you can have it later.
Yeah, of course.
That's really smart. And you talked about the mason jars. I think you and I saw a recipe a long time ago, and I've since used it a couple times, just insofar as coming home and not having to deal with something, but a little prep work, was Chef Nadia. I want to say she was on like Great British Bake Off a while ago
Yeah.
and so on. She's great. But she taught me a recipe about using like glass mason jars, and you just put like dried noodles in there, seasoning, and you know, you make a little spice blend and you put it in there, and then she keeps that just in the fridge, but she puts beef jerky.
Interesting.
So the fun thing about beef jerky is obviously it's just dehydrated beef,
Right.
but it's fully seasoned. So when you have the spice blend in there, you have your noodles in there, you have your beef jerky in there. So when you just want like a quick like ramen type soup, all that requires is hot water poured in there.
Oh, yeah.
And you just let it sit, and the noodles are going to be, you know, soft. The beef's going to reconstitute to a certain amount,
Right.
fully seasoned. And you don't have to cook anything other than you can just come home and pour hot water in it. And I was like, that's really smart thinking.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And if you do veggies in there, you know, you cut the veggies so they're going to have a slightly less shelf life, but you still have a week or so.
Yeah, of course. It's
of it
great for
being at
meal
the house.
prep.
Yeah, great for meal prep. Great
Yeah.
for, so that was just a very interesting, like, oh, never thought about that, but that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, when you're like on the go, you're busy, you have a bunch of stuff going on, you know, it's like I understand why people would get mad if you don't take the chicken out of the freezer in the morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that, you take it out, mason jar, you just set it in the sink, let it thaw out, and then just throw it on the stove, and it's as good as the first day.
How often are you doing kind of meal prep stuff? Because both you guys stay pretty busy.
Yeah.
Well, especially, you know, you were doing the 2 jobs.
So typically we've fallen out of it because of the holidays, but usually Sundays, full grocery trip. You know, if I'm going to make something in the crock pot, it goes in the morning, and then prepping lunches and breakfast
Okay.
for the week. So,
Just easy grab and go.
yeah, so like salads, taco stuff,
Yeah.
super easy stuff.
And that just takes stress out of the day for you, right?
Yeah, and it's you don't have to think about it, and you're saving money, which
Yeah.
is going to be big.
Which is also important.
Yeah,
Let's
so-
also...
And you can control everything that's in it. You can do healthy, but you know, elevate it to a good flavoring. So
And so let's talk about the soup again.
okay.
Lasagna soup. Convince me, other than lighter, break down what are we putting in a lasagna soup? I mean, I can look at it, but tell me how you're doing your lasagna soup.
So first and foremost, I will always say any recipe that you look at least double or triple the garlic. You measure garlic with your heart, not by.
Yeah.
Listen, and it's a Martha Stewart recipe, but girl, I need some more garlic. But you know, you always want to saute the onion and the garlic first, let it get real nice, and then you put your meat in there, and then you kind of just go step by step. It's super easy.
Right.
And then the ricotta, you drop that in at the end and like mix it.
So that's interesting to me, dropping the ricotta in the soup, because the ricotta is, you know, it's a bit of a loose cheese, let's be honest. No judgment, ricotta, but it's a bit
You
of,
loose.
it's a bit of a
Girl,
loose
you loose.
cheese in the world of cheeses.
Yes, ma'am.
So does that just create like a creamy texture in the soup then?
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's kind of just making it, because otherwise it's just kind of like brothy. And when
Yeah.
I think of lasagna, I want something like thick, you
Yeah.
know? So you just drop that in and you can measure it out however thick you want it. So usually it's, if we freeze it, we don't put the ricotta in it.
Yeah.
It's just after we heat it up and mix it in.
That probably, so maybe that's fixing what I was thinking about it, because one of the beauties of lasagna is, like I said, those melded flavors in the layers, right? So like the cheese is kind of dripping and it's melted into
Yeah.
everything, and so you get that kind of creaminess, you know, especially if you're doing like with the bechamel sauce or in there, you know, you can, there's a creaminess that's in
Right.
lasagna,
Yeah.
as well as that kind of, not a bite of the noodles, but that texture of the noodles
Right.
and then the flavor of the beef. And so that's where I thought I was losing it in the soup, but because I was thinking brothy, right?
Right,
And
yeah.
in one of the pictures, you know, let's not pretend I go through the whole thing and really read well. Me read good, but it looked brothy. But
Yeah.
adding the ricotta at the end creates that creamy texture, which absolutely changes my thought process on it.
100%.
Okay, well that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, and you kind of just you let it simmer for a while. Like when you're making it the first time,
Yeah.
you know, it tells you how long to cook it, but you can delay when you put the noodles in,
Yeah.
so that all of those flavors still
Meld
meld
together.
together.
Yeah, and it adds that kind of deeper flavor.
Yeah. It sounds really good right
You're
now.
like, "Oh, it sounds so good."
I'm like gonna text William, I'm like, hey, take it out of the freezer.
So you may have answered my food. So why does lasagna? Where does this hit you? Is it like a nostalgic thing? Is it a newer take on it? Where does this comfort food come into your life?
So growing up, we didn't grow up with a lot of money, and like we had said earlier, you know, spaghetti, lasagna, a lot of Italian meals are just
Yeah.
very cheap and easy, and you can make them in large portions.
Inexpensive, but go on.
Okay, inexpensive.
I don't need Italians after me.
Listen, it's fine. But I think it's just, you know, having those meals growing up, but sitting around the table with your family,
Sure.
having those conversations. And, you know, one of my core memories growing up, when we played soccer, we would have team dinners.
Okay, yeah.
And every time it was our turn, you know, it was a giant vat of spaghetti or something
Oh,
like
nice.
that. So it ties that.
That brings you back to
memory.
that kind of
Yeah.
feeling of being around a team, being around family, being around the family.
Yeah, and everybody was, our week was their favorite week, so I'll just say it.
Not that it's a competition, but you
But it
won.
is, but it just ties to that, and it, I think a lot of it too, like the tradition that Williams' family has, we didn't really grow up with a lot of traditions.
Sure.
And so having something like that tied to a memory that I already had.
Yeah, I love
and
that,
it kind of
yeah.
just all comes together. It's
Yeah.
very like kismet. So
You were like, I knew this was the right choice
I
of person.
knew it. Minus the last name. Just kidding. I love it.
But I do like and I think with a lot of Italian food, it comes back to family around the table, right? And I think
Very
that
much
hits
so.
home for a lot of people on that type of food. And that's what we remember. You know, like I said, my mom's was my favorite
Right.
dish, but that was a family dish, you know, and then sometimes it was friends coming over. And maybe that's part of the nostalgia too.
Yeah.
Is having kind of just that people were coming over for lasagna. And it's always a lot. Okay, I don't know how anybody measures spaghetti for two people. That's insane superpower.
It makes a zero sense.
Yeah, I don't know how you
You
grab the
portion
right
for
amount of
8
noodles.
and hope for the best.
Yeah, exactly. You feed an army
Yeah.
when you make it. Nobody's made a two-person lasagna in their life. Those things don't happen. So it's funny. So one of the new questions I wanted to start asking people, but of course this is like, I was like, oh, this will be perfect to ask on you. And it's not, because I feel like you've already answered it because of your preparedness.
Very studious.
My question is, like, what is your emotional, like a lot of times when I ask people their comfort food, it's an emotionally tied, right? Go back to childhood.
Yeah.
Those after sporting event nights and just family dinners and so on. And then my next question, so like that's that comfort food for your soul, right?
Yeah.
That hits you, you know, back in your feels type
Right.
thing and is nostalgic. But then I also want to start asking, what is your comfort food for a bad day? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I had a rough day, and typically lasagna to me, wouldn't be an answer to that because I'm not coming home after a crappy day and being like, now I've got to layer these noodles.
I'm going to spend 3 hours making this.
So that's not necessarily, but the way you and William live, you're organized, you think things out, you know.
Sometimes.
Well, in the
It's
perception
there.
of this, let's just say.
Yeah, for this. For
So
menu
you're
planning.
able to, like, hey, I've had a crappy day. And like you were just saying, like, oh, you know, let's say you had a crappy day.
Mm-hmm.
You come here, you do a wonderful podcast, but you're just like, you know what, I need something to take the edge off. You can
Yeah.
text them and be like, take the lasagna soup, because you've portioned it.
Right.
So that kind of cheats my question annoyingly, but is there another thing that's kind of a go-to for you on a bad day?
Well, we always keep a can of Skyline chili in the house.
Okay,
So spaghetti, Skyline chili,
Okay.
cheddar cheese.
okay.
That's it.
Which,
Stop. What?
it's just,
Listen.
is that Cincinnati chili, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So It just bothers me.
Here we go.
So just listen.
Here we go.
I've been told by somebody in the room, the man in the chair, that perhaps I shouldn't tell guests that they're wrong as much as I do. But
Well, I mean, it's you.
they knew what they were coming over for.
It's a vibe.
I think I just get annoyed when people call it chili and then put it on spaghetti and pretend it's not just a Bolognese. Like, it's not just a meat sauce. Like, it's just a poor man's meat sauce, right? That we're calling chili?
I mean, I guess. I think it goes, I think it's like actually a Greek recipe. I think Skyline chili is actually like a Greek recipe.
Okay, so it's a Greek recipe from the Midwest that we're calling chili and putting on spaghetti.
Yes.
And we're just all okay with it.
I mean, I'm great with it. Like, listen, I think it was around long before either of us.
Yeah,
so
no, here's the thing.
I'm not here to change the wheel.
I like it. I just get annoyed when it's called chili. Like, we went to a chili cook-off end of last year, and I didn't enter because I would have won.
Of course.
But one of them had, like, just spaghetti next to it, and I'm like, what are we... Now, mind you, when I eat chili, I'm like, and this goes back to my parents, though, but I put the Fritos underneath, I put the chili on top, and then the cheese and the sour cream, and then the Fritos kind of break down a little bit, and it is delicious.
I like to do the chili cheese Fritos, but on top, because if it gets soggy, I can't eat it.
Oh, you're
gross.
missing out. It's all soaks it
gross.
in.
It's gross.
It's basically a cornmeal noodle at that point. Think of it like thick cornmeal spaghetti underneath.
Like sticking to the roof of my mouth.
All right, I feel like you're giving Skyline way more of a shot than you're giving my Fritos underneath. But
Listen, soggy is soggy.
Soggy is soggy. All right.
You can't, there's no way around it. I mean, I'll try it once, and then if I throw up on your floor, that's on you.
Why do you act just like your dogs do?
Listen.
Who do they learn it from?
I have no idea.
All right.
They're rescues. They had their behaviors before me.
All right, so moving from food. Again, we like to talk about a hard time somebody's gone through.
Sure.
And on the episode so far, we have run the gamut. So
Yes.
it is open to anything anybody's gone through, by the way. I love it. At this point is when the roofers next door have started roofing again.
They're like, oh, here comes Brittany's trauma.
Let's go ahead.
Let's drown it out.
So maybe it won't be picked up, maybe it will, but that is happening in the background, and I'm not equipped to deal with that.
We can reshoot.
We'll fix it in post.
Well, yeah.
So let's let you talk about a hard time you've gone through, whatever you're comfortable with.
I mean, I think we kind of touched on it. Moving to Florida, getting my first job as a bartender.
When did you move to Florida?
2017.
Okay.
So my first job was the Don.
Okay. That was your first job as a bartender?
At here in
Okay,
Florida.
here,
But,
yeah.
girl goes way back. But it, started as a bartender, started working my way up. And then
I was one of your first bosses in Florida?
yeah, it was you and
I'm sorry.
well, I turned out okay.
All right.
It was fine. We had a great time. But yeah, working my way up in my mind, this is what I wanted to do. This is what I was thriving in. Had someone that kind of helped mentor and helped give me the tools that I needed. And I was just pushing, not realizing what I was doing to my mental health.
Sure.
Was, my phone was always on. I was always on call for someone else. Towards the end, it was when we got married, and I just remember not seeing my husband for the first year we were married because I was working nights again.
Yeah.
And driving to work and having a panic attack before I walk in and not knowing how to process that and thinking, I'm doing something wrong. Why am I not stronger?
Sure.
Why can I not handle this? I've dealt with so much in my life. Why can't I handle this?
Yeah.
And sorry, I'm gonna get emotional about it. Jeez.
Well, I'll touch in real quick on people may not understand when you're in that industry and you're in that moment. So we worked at a very fancy hotel. Mm-hmm. It was high expectations on us.
Yes, always.
And high expectations, especially when you got into the management side of it. Mm-hmm. It was different expectations.
Yeah.
But now it's like the employees are a product of you.
Yeah.
And so you're answering for them, you're answering for what's happening in your department.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot, and also at that time, there was a lot of flux at the hotel that we were wearing more hats than we probably should have
Yes, 100%.
been. And frustratingly, we were both very good at multiple things, which meant we were relied on more than we should have been.
Right.
But when you're in that, you are just in it. You can't
Yeah.
see the other. You can't see what it looks like from the outside.
Exactly.
And people, like, I'm sure William was telling you, like, you don't have to. And in your head, you're like, yes, I do.
I
Because
do
if
have
I
to.
don't, who's going to?
Right. And if I don't do it, other people are going to suffer.
Yeah.
And you've been in a situation where you're the one that's suffering and you don't want to make anyone else feel that way.
Absolutely.
And you also don't want people to quit because then you're going to be putting on another hat and
Yeah.
then you're going to be driving yourself even more. And so taking on all of that responsibility and just assuming that this was okay, this is what it's supposed to be every single day.
Yeah.
And then I remember like going home and William was like, just quit. Like, we're going to go to Mexico in like 2 weeks, just quit. I was
Yeah.
like, cool, love this. And the changing point for me was on my last night, I left and sat in my car hoping that I would feel upset.
Right.
And I didn't. And I cry about everything. Let's be real. I did not cry.
met you.
What? Yeah. You know. I did not cry leaving
Right.
that day. And so I knew that that was the right choice. But then I opened up this whole new door of, well, shit, what am I supposed to do now?
What's next?
Yeah. Like, I don't have any other skills. So what am I supposed to do?
And that's funny because you don't think that, and then you find out how many skills you've picked up doing what we were doing.
Yeah, how it translates and, still working in customer service, and it translates really well there. And I've become a leader in the place that I'm at now. And it just changes. It changes. And for me, I'm like, oh, you know what? I used to work like 60-hour weeks. I can get through this. And it just changes, any struggle that you go through, you can compare it. Well, at least I'm not doing this anymore.
It's so, I don't know if you remember, but it was very interesting because Chef Patrick remembered me saying this verbatim, but I had a phrase when I got out of the hotel. So I was your direct superior when I left, and I went to go work a 9-to-5 job, completely different industry, had to relearn a lot of things.
Yeah,
And I'm not gonna lie, that was very hard for me to do.
sure.
But I did realize when I was told about that job, I said, "Oh, I can do all of these. It's multitasking, it's organization."
Right.
I'm like, I was doing payroll for like 65 employees,
Right, yeah.
plus the ones that couldn't do it in their departments. I had to do,
Yeah.
which I taught you, and you were able to, those type of things. Like, we can do a lot more when you think, "Oh, this is just this. This is
Yeah.
just this." But so when I got out, I had a realization. And the way I put it was funny because when Patrick was here and I said this to him, he finished the sentence and I was like, "You remember?" I said, "Getting out of restaurants is like getting out of a abusive relationship. You realize you don't need to be punched in the face every day." Which is a very dramatic way to put things.
Yes, but
at the same time, the analogy I put is like in an abusive relationship, you make your mind think that is what love is.
Yeah.
That's how love represents itself.
Right.
And then when you get into a non-abusive relationship, you're like, oh wait, this is love?
What?
Is
Is this how it's supposed to feel?
And I don't know if you felt that when you left, but that was such a stark difference to me
Yeah.
of this feeling of, I remember, because we talked about as management in this hotel, we had Outlook on our phones.
Yeah.
And we were kind of expected to have Outlook on our phones.
Absolutely, 100%.
And on days off, especially because you took over my position, we were still managing on
Yeah.
a day. We were never off. There was no such thing as a full day off
Right.
type thing.
Yeah.
Because you were always tied to it on your phone. And I remember when I moved to clinical research, and I went to my boss and I said, "Hey, I was going to put Outlook on my phone, so in case I'm not here." And he said, "Well, do you want to answer emails when you're not here?" And I was like, "Well, no." And he was like, "Then don't put it on your phone."
What?
And I was like, "Wait, but that's That's an option?
Can I?
But how do I show you that I care? And he was like,
Yeah.
well, then you just show up at work and do the emails when you come in the next day. And I was like,
Oh, that's weird.
That thought process was new to me.
Yep.
And then that's when it started clicking. And then you said a sentence to me that has stayed with me
Oh, jeez.
for,
Oh, no.
I mean, you know, you have some of my favorite things you've
Yeah.
ever said. One of them was at Adam's wedding, but that's a whole separate thing.
Oh.
I'll remind you later. But
Okay.
this one specifically was, and here's the thing, I had said this to my ex 100 times, and it never sounded weird me saying it. But then when I heard it outside of the industry, we were trying to get together for lunch. This is after I was out of there. And you said, let's pick a day, like Tuesday.
Yeah.
You're like, Tuesday's going to be my best day. It's my only day off this week. I just have to go in for a meeting, so I'm only going to be there for like 2 hours. And I was like, but that's not
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
But to you, that's your day off. I'm
Right.
only in there for 2 hours. That's a complete
Yeah,
day off
that's
for
fine.
me.
That's fine.
And so hearing that and hearing something I have said to kind of, at the time, my significant other over and over again,
Yeah.
and me getting annoyed that he doesn't get it.
Right.
Like, he's like, it's your day off, don't go in. And I'm like,
You
don't
can't just
get
not go in.
it. There's a meeting, they need me.
Yeah.
But when we look back, they really did it. They could have done that without you. You could have been caught
This
up
could have
in
been
that.
an email that I'll
Yeah,
read
there's-
from my couch.
Yeah, there's a lot that we bought into, I want to
Yeah.
say. And I'm not knocking the restaurant industry, the
No,
service
no, no,
industry. It is very much got me where I am and taught me so much and got me so far in my life. But it is a unique beast outside looking in.
Yes. Yeah. And I think there are a lot of places that, run restaurants and bars in a great way. And there's a lot of places that don't. But a lot of times what comes with a management title is you need to build value for yourself.
Yeah.
And if you don't respond to my email in a specific time, you're saying that I'm not valuable. You're saying like you don't have time. This job isn't that important to you. And so having that mindset of like the expectation is you show up when you need to be here. Even if you don't need to be here, still show up because there's an issue here that 3 other managers are unable to fix. So
Yeah.
we need you to do this. So
Yeah.
Ugh.
Still triggering, right?
I'm like, ugh, gross. Let me get some water.
Okay, so it's interesting seeing how much it still triggers you. I mean, it's still, I still have dreams of working in the service industry.
I have like Expo printer,
like
that's phantom sound.
Oh, it's the.
And I'm like, no.
No, I have had in the past month. I've probably had 2 or 3 dreams that. I'm in the weeds.
Yeah.
I'm in the weeds at a restaurant, and I haven't worked in a restaurant in over 4 years.
Right.
I've been doing full-time stand-up for over a year, and yet that's still a part of
Yeah.
me. So looking back, what role in those kind of trying times and so on, what role do you think food played in any of that?
I think just being able to come home and have a nice meal where I could sit down and like decompress.
Okay.
While eating good food. Because,
Yeah.
I'm a girl that loves some chicken nuggets and fries. Don't get me wrong. But, then you're going to feel like crap if you, whatever. But just being able to have a meal and you're sitting down, especially working in a restaurant, you eat like 3 fries a day. So
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? So just having that and knowing I'm home, I'm in, my house that I love, I'm with my dogs, I'm with my husband. This is what I need.
This is a safe
This
space
is
too.
refilling my cup right now.
Did you have to retrain yourself to slow down when you eat? And I ask that because, especially at the hotel, especially as a manager, we didn't get really a break because we
Right.
were salary. So I will say the hotel was great because they had meals twice a day.
Yeah.
And
Shout
you
out
just,
Corn Dog Day.
just go in, you get food, it didn't cost us anything, and that was all great.
Yeah.
But I always felt as a manager, I sat down, I ate very quickly, and then I'm back doing whatever I need to do.
Right.
Because I just couldn't be away. Now, when I had you and Tristan as assistant managers, I started relying more on you two.
Yeah.
But also because I wanted you to be able to take over. At
You
some
literally
point.
put me in that position. So
And so some people saw it as lazy, but it was not. It was actually.
listen, at the time, maybe I thought that, but then I was like, oh, wait. And I think at one point I sat across from you in the office and I was like, I'm going to have your job.
Like,
And you're like, cool.
you're like, yeah, that's
Here you go.
learn how to do it.
Yeah.
Do all of it. But when I left restaurants and when I left that hotel and then I would eat, I'd be done in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because Matt, being from the South, is such a dinner is a time of relaxing and catching up, and it's no rush. It's a social time.
Yeah.
And so when we started seeing each other and we'd sit down to eat, and then he'd put the plate down, and I'm already done my plate, and I'm like, "Are you
going to
so
eat
you're gonna take a
that?
while?" Or and he's like, "What is your?" But it was
Yeah.
just. It was just a trained thing that in my head, and he's like, nobody's going to take your food, Jeff.
You're like, you don't know that.
But it wasn't that. It was just I needed to get back. I needed to be back on the floor.
Yeah.
I needed to be doing things. I
Half the
needed
time
to be.
you were, taking a bite and somebody
Yeah.
was coming in and finding you, so you couldn't even finish.
So I don't know if you noticed that or anything, but I don't know if that was a retraining you had to do at all, or
I think when I left, I had to retrain myself how to actually have 3 meals a day.
oh, that's fair too.
Yeah, because you're just so used to it. And I was like, I was fasting before it was cool. But yeah, sitting down and just like forcing myself to take my time, have a conversation, and eat. And I'm not rushing to get
Yeah.
anywhere or do
and not
anything.
worrying about a mystery thing that could happen at
Right.
any moment and
Well,
pull you.
that's anxiety.
No,
so
no.
that's my life every day. But
No
yeah,
walkie-talkies.
right. So
Can we just talk about our favorite walkie-talkie moment just for some levity? Okay, well, I feel like I remember our time together way more than you do.
well, listen.
So we listen, you try to find, you know exactly what it was. You try to find joy in busy days. And we would be very busy at times.
Yes.
And one day, we and some chefs decided to give ourselves nicknames. So one of the assistant managers was named French Vanilla because he was a bit fancy.
Yeah.
You were mocha or chocolate. We were
Yeah.
going with ice cream flavors.
Yeah.
There was a salted caramel because that chef was a bit salty. Strawberry, I think, was amber. And then
Yeah.
I was basic vanilla, which is fine.
Yeah. I mean,
And
it tracks.
we had a bit of a slow time and we were walking around and we came upon a meeting that 2 other restaurant managers and our food and beverage director were having. We checked in with them, making sure everything was all right. And then
Yeah.
my walkie-talkie went off very loudly and it just said, "Hey, this is strawberry to chocolate and basic vanilla. Where are you guys at?" And I remember looking at them and reaching behind me and slowly turning that volume down.
Just slowly backing out of the room, closing the door.
And then one of the managers went, "Who's chocolate and who's?" And first of all, I think you know.
Come on. Obviously,
our
I'm
food-
basic vanilla.
Our food and beverage director just was shaking his head, and I was like, "So we have to go."
So I'm just going to go get in my car and leave.
For no reason, I was like, of all the times that I had to come blaring out. But you
Yeah.
find your ways to have fun in
Yeah.
the stressful times to get through it, I find.
That was really funny, actually. That was great.
All right, so
I love that.
one question I think is always important for any listener to hear is how did you see your way to the other side? And we touched on it somewhat. I would, I don't want to speak for you, but you mentioned a very supportive partner was very helpful in that
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
on basically saying quit. I don't want to say quit is always the answer.
Well-
But it's also maybe not the answer.
Yeah,
right?
when you have someone that sees, like you said, when you're in the thick of it, you don't see it yourself. But
Yeah.
you have someone that's constantly seeing it and seeing that like downturn, and they're watching the progression of it. And so his job as my partner was to step in and say, listen, something's got to change.
Right.
This is like, it's not great. So, but just having the support, and then it was trial and error for me, and it was disappointing at a lot of times, but it's going to get better. It's not going to be like this forever.
It's going to get better. We need to stay
It's
on
going
the
to
trend. It's going to get better.
It's going to get better. And just kind of finding other things to fill my cup and bring myself joy. Going back to crafting and painting and cooking and baking. Even sometimes when I didn't feel like it, you just get up and you start moving.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just snowballs, and before you know it, the whole house is clean and it smells like chocolate muffins. But it's not easy. It's not easy. And I that kind of stuff, you don't take it lightly, and a lot of self-reflection, and, it's hard,
Yeah.
but
And maybe I want to put another focus on listen. Listen to what people are telling you from the outside.
Yeah.
Like I said, I would have said that line, "It's my day off. I only have to go in for 2 hours,"
right.
100 times, and everybody told me that's an insane thing. And I'm like, it's not.
It's
though.
not. It's
And
what's
then
normal.
When I was out of it and you said it, I went, "That's insane."
Right.
But then I know I'd said that, but it's just I refuse to listen to anybody telling me that that's not okay.
Yeah. Yep.
And like you said, you listen to your partner on saying, when William was like, things need to
Right.
happen.
And
you finally were like, you're right.
Yeah. And it helps when you have someone like you who, I spent probably more time with than my husband. And then seeing you like on the other side of it.
Okay, yeah.
Seeing that encouragement, seeing like it is
Nice.
possible,
There's life outside.
Right. Let's break away from it. Let's do it.
What advice would you have for anybody going through something like that?
I think finding someone and talking to someone, because you can't do all of it. You can't carry the entire weight of the world on your shoulders.
Fair.
Sometimes you have to share it. And a lot of times after you get all of it off of your chest, you already feel lighter, and it's not going to happen overnight. So if you make one moment at a time, that's how you have to take it.
That's fair.
So
That's good.
one little change at a time, and then before you know it, you're leaving your corporate job to get your dream job.
There you
So
go.
that's where it is.
Takes time, but it gets there.
Yeah. Patience.
Now-
Patience.
I am curious about this because I know you so well, but it's one of my favorite questions I ask. What advice would current Brittany have for Brittany going through it years ago? This is a different Brittany. This is a Brittany that has seen
Wow.
the other side.
Yeah.
And you know who that Brittany is, how she listens, how she doesn't listen.
Yeah.
What advice would you have for yourself if you were able to do that?
That's a tough one.
You're like, first of all, I'm not going to listen to me.
Right. Girl, you crazy. No, I think just, again, rely on the tools that you have,
Okay.
stand with the people that are around you. Listen to your tribe, listen to your people. Like, if they're telling you something and multiple people are telling you the same thing, maybe take a step back and don't be selfish, saying like, this is what I'm doing, whatever. Just take a step back and listen to listen. Don't listen just to hear.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah,
So.
that's good advice.
Thanks.
Okay, so we're going back to lasagna soup. Not because I can't let it go, but because it's the time of the podcast we're supposed to.
Okay.
So I put the recipe out there. People go to the episode and they're like, lasagna soup. Oh, and then I'll tell you a fun anecdote about soup. So they go to lasagna soup. Who, when you close your eyes, who do you picture making this? Who do you envision taking this recipe and using it?
Oh, wow.
You didn't
That's
know
a-
I was such hard hitting on this
I
podcast,
know. I
did
was like,
you?
I have to really think about that one. I wasn't prepared. You need to send more questions out ahead of time. Honestly, it's just someone that wants to, for me, when I see it, I see myself in the kitchen with my husband.
Okay.
Like listening to, I don't know, modern jazz.
Sure.
Maybe having a glass of wine.
Okay.
And just like
You fancy.
chatting. Yeah, girl. Chatting about our day, chatting about like goals and, just having conversation.
Okay. So maybe a couple, or, and but I also really like the idea of make a big batch, put some in the freezer, have it as a quick grab. And
Yeah.
that's for somebody on the go, somebody who's busy.
Yeah.
So you're still able to have a delicious meal.
And you can give it to people, like we have a friend that's literally about to have her second baby.
Okay.
So it's like prep a bunch of stuff and take them over and leave them in the freezer for her,
Nice.
little stuff like that.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right. My next question is, what is your guilty pleasure food? Like, what is, and I'll tell you, if I don't like the answer, I'll let you know, because
Oh, I know.
a guest tried to tell me his guilty pleasure food was tacos, and I said, there's nothing guilty about eating tacos. You better guess again.
I mean, tacos are great. Taco Bell.
But that's not Taco Bell. Maybe is a guilty pleasure
Yes.
food. I'm fine with that. But
Sign
what's
me up.
what's the food that's like just makes you feel good, and maybe it's not that healthy. Like, I'll be honest, on every road trip, almost every road trip, you can guarantee I'm going to have a bag of combos.
Okay.
And when you open a bag of combos, they smell like feet. And that's just what combos do. But I eat them every time. And then I will get a whatchamacallit bar.
Okay.
I love a whatchamacallit bar. The combos would be more of the guilty pleasure on
Yeah.
those two.
What flavor?
Typically pepperoni pizza with the, but I just had the ranch ones on my drive back from Fort Myers.
Okay.
And they were just ranch feet. Here's the thing. Combos aren't
so
amazing.
gross.
They're not amazing.
Well,
But
they're
that
alright.
being said, it's just a road trip food for me.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but it's just become, and I'm on the road a bunch.
Yeah.
It's a road trip food for me.
It's like I think if we're talking on road trip, every road trip that we take, Diet Coke,
Okay.
Slim Jim, Albanese gummy bears.
Oh, Slim Jim.
Yeah.
Like, for somebody as healthy as you are, you were like nitrates.
I'm like,
all
here
of
we
them.
go. I'm going to feel like crap in like 5 minutes, but it's worth it. But yeah, Albanese gummy bears are like my favorite.
Okay.
As far as just like stuff that we keep at the house,
Yeah.
I mean, we always have like chicken tenders in the
Okay.
freezer, mac and cheese,
Yeah. Mm.
but a little bit of everything. I can't say that I have like a guilty pleasure.
By the way, Matt put his grandmother's macaroni and cheese recipe on the first episode.
Ooh.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Be on the lookout.
I'll be there.
Done. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So here's the fun story for you.
Okay.
So I couldn't get this out of my head with lasagna soup, and this is maybe where my bias is coming in a little bit. I'm talking about it
You're
a
so
lot.
mad about soup.
I'm not mad, but okay, here.
I'm not mad. I'm just
I'm
disappointed.
obsessed. Hear my story and then maybe understand where I'm coming from.
Okay.
Growing up, my parents like to experiment with food sometimes,
Okay.
which taught me really kind of, I play with a lot of food.
Sure.
And so one night, whatever, my mom was like, I'm going to make pizza soup. Here's the thing. First of all, what's the difference between your lasagna soup and pizza? Noodles? She broke
Carry
the
on.
crust and she put, no, she did not.
You lost me there.
No, she did not.
If the crust is
you
in
put
there,
Fritos
I'm
on the
done.
bottom. No.
No.
So she made pizza soup. It was some recipe she found.
Okay.
And I don't know. I don't think it would have been online. I don't believe online existed at that time.
No, I don't think
But, okay, that's rude for you to say it. So she made pizza soup. So it's me, my brother, my dad, my mom, and she bowls us up this pizza soup, and she made a batch. Like, she put it in some quart containers, and there was like 4 quart containers she put in the freezer, and all of us took like a bite of it, and it was not good. Like, laughably not good. Like, we're all sitting around being like, and my mom is like, what's the matter? We're like, we can't eat it.
It's not great.
It's not great. And those quarts sat in my parents' fridge for probably 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
To the point that they were cleaning out the freezer
throw
one time.
it.
They were cleaning out the freezer one time. My mom's like, what is this in here? And she pulls that out. I was like, I guarantee that's pizza soup. And there's it's old, get rid of it. But also,
Yeah.
we didn't need to freeze it. Nobody was going to rethink pizza soup.
They're like, maybe it'll be better this time.
So that traumatic experience is in my childhood. So when you were like lasagna soup, and I'm like, I've tried pizza soup, it didn't work.
I have questions.
Yeah.
I have questions.
Fair.
The base of this soup. What? Walk me through this. I have questions.
I'm going back into my childhood. This is going to be very hard for me to remember, but
Was it just like
it was brothy. I'll say that.
she was brothy?
It was brothy. I'm going to say there was probably some pepperonis in there. Honestly, I'd love to be able to find that recipe. And maybe here's the wild thing. I would probably try to make it just to see.
Just to see if
Just to
it's-
see.
Okay.
If I could scar more people like I was. But yeah.
I have questions.
It-
I don't.
And they're fair questions, and I wish I could remember, but I just remember nobody in the family and we couldn't even pretend to like it. And we also weren't a family of pretending to like things.
Yes.
You've met me.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a product of them. And so, yeah, so that is just an indelible memory. So when I got lasagna soup, I was like, you can understand my trepidation.
You're like, girl, let's talk about this.
I've been
please.
through this. It didn't work.
It's good, I promise.
It sits in the freezer for 5 years. But no,
Oh.
you use yours.
5 years though?
About, I don't know. Everything seemed longer as a kid, but
That's true. Pizza soup.
a kid was a long time ago for me, as you know.
I need to find some pizza soup.
I
need to-
I don't think you listened to the story then.
I need to dig into this.
All right, well, that's the episode. Did you have a good time?
I did. It was awesome.
Do you have a place? You know what? Because you're not really a social media person necessarily. You're a pretty private social media person.
Yeah.
I don't think we're even friends. I think we are, but that took me a while to break that wall. You were like, I guess.
That's fine. I have
but-
a rule.
Let's plug the new job. Where can people find you with the new floor?
Yeah, so
Floristing. I
it's
don't think that's a
called
word.
floristing.
Yeah.
It's called Florifet. You can find us on Instagram. We have a website. We're going to be launching a TikTok soon, which I'm very excited about because
Yeah.
I love that. And again, just having some more time to really, really jump in. So, yeah, Florifet St. Pete.
Very exciting. I'm
Yeah.
very excited for the change and the new future for you and going forward.
It's going to be great.
Letting your kind of creative juices just really go and being able to put the time and headspace into
Right.
it
Yeah.
is beyond exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Thank you for the advice that you gave people.
Of course.
Listen to the people around you. Mm-hmm. And I think the other really good advice was take those moments. Even if you didn't feel like doing it, you did something around the house. You took those moments to feel
Right.
normal
Yeah.
and that normalcy. Mm-hmm. And that helps you get through, some of the tougher times.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was, and maybe you can figure it out. But it was a book that was written, and I think it was someone that was in the military maybe. And they always said the first thing that you do in the morning is make your bed.
Yeah.
Because then you've accomplished something.
Yeah. And even if that's the only thing you accomplish all day,
Right.
that's okay.
Yeah, so just one step at a time. That's all you can do.
I think that's great advice. All right, Brittany, thank you for being on.
Thanks for having me.
That's another episode of It Gets Butter.